I love the trailer. Like I said, I got choked up. Matrix is one of my favorite movies, and just the ideas behind it and the concept and stuff. So when I saw they were doing a new one, as much as I probably should have been nervous, like, man, please don't mess up my feelings about the franchise, I was still happy to see it. And then part of me also was like, don't watch nothing at all. Don't listen to anything about it. Just experience, because of when I saw the first one, that trailer was just so short. And it was just like the dialogue talking about, can't tell you what the Matrix is. I have to show you. Nowadays, the way they do trailers and stuff, man, it's hard to be blown away because you see like the major points in movies on the trailers. So part of me is like, don't watch it, but I had to watch it. And man, like I said, I can't wait for that movie. I was just, like I said, I just kind of sat back, just tripped out like, man, I can't wait to see this movie. And it's been a long time there's been a movie like this. It may not even be a great movie, who knows? This is like one of my most anticipated. Like, I got to see this movie, got to see what's going to happen. It's happening in the Bay Area again. The second one was, parts of it was filmed in the Bay Area in Oakland. So Wayne, what did you think of the trailer?
Well, first, let me just say the teaser piece for the trailer had to be some of the most crazy tricked out stuff ever, but I was just wowed by that, just the way they did that and the use of technology for it. So if you went to the website, you could take the blue pill or you could take the red pill,
right? And
either pill you take, you get a different piece of the trailer. So this was Tuesday that they released this on the website, and the trailer came out Thursday. But if either pill you took, you got a different piece of the trailer. But no matter what pill you took, it told you exactly what time you were watching.
Exactly. I thought I was tripping. I was like, wait a minute. And I watched like at 2:14 in the morning, and I was kind of like, what? Did the time change? And I looked at my clock, and it was the same time. I'm like, they got me. Yeah.
I didn't get it at first because I watched it once on my phone because it took me to the link, because I was wondering, it's like, why didn't some people just had it on the phone, like, the clip, but then some like pages had you go to the link. And so that you would click the button and you would get the full experience. Then I didn't get it at first, because then I watched it on YouTube later, and it had this random different time. But then I watched it on my phone again later that evening, and it had the actual time. Then I was like, oh, I know they didn't just do that. Like, and then I clicked it again like a minute later, and it had that minute, and I was like, wow, it was just blown. So first of all, that part just blew me. Then the actual trailer itself was just amazing. I mean, Keanu, yes, being this person and not remember who he is and not remember who Trinity is. So having to kind of do this love cross star thing again. And I'd imagine that since nobody remembers who they are, probably Morpheus doesn't remember who he is. And therefore he is this younger person. That's just a theory. But, hey, I mean, I think it's going to be cool. I either think it's going to be really good or I think it's going to be terrible. And the reason I think that is because the Wachowski brothers have only been successful with The Matrix. Matrix 1 and 2 didn't do extra. I mean, it did great because it was off the standing of the first one, but it wasn't as good as the first ones. Right. It wasn't as good as the first one, either two or three. 2 was better than 3, but 1 as good as 1. Speed Racer came out, and then they made that Cloud Atlas. My theory is that they probably won't ever be able to do a Matrix as good as the first one, or it'll just be good, but it probably won't be as good as the first one because technically that story wasn't theirs to begin with. So we'll see. Now they've had 20 years to perfect the story, and we'll just see how far it goes from there.
Yeah, like I said, I got my fingers crossed. Either way, I don't care. I'm going to be there as soon as possible. First showing that I can make it to. I got to, man. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, it's almost kind of like, learning how a magic trick is done. So you're never going to have the same feeling about it once it's been opened or the package or gift been opened. So I just want something that's not going to take away from it. But is it going to be better? Ain't no way. How you going to... Unless it's another level to all this stuff that we are living or potentially are living, then, unless they made up something that, like I said, another level, because they really opened up people with the concept. So unless there's another floor, then then we're just gonna have entertainment. Then that's all that's left is entertainment. If you're not gonna go down, you're gonna just spread out and just stay on that same plane, but just it's gonna be spectacle and entertainment. Then
it'll be visually spectacle because there's not much you
but they can't go deeper.
There've been too many other movies that have been released that because of it that have like either filled in gaps that it didn't, like iRobot or like Inception and you know, all those kind of movies like that where it's like, you know,
cerebral.
Those cerebral type movies like Surrogates and Gamer and all these kind of movies where it's like, so we have to see how that could work. And then the Animatrix came and filled a lot in too. So, you know, how far can you really go other than you do another soft reboot, right? Resurrection.
You know how rare it is to have, you know, something that some kind of art, song or singer or movie that just changes everything, and to be able to witness that is so it's interesting. It's almost a blessing in a weird way to be in the presence of that stuff when it happens, you know, because if it's not at that right moment when you're seeing it, when it comes out and it's that thing, like, you know, I share that movie like The Matrix with my daughter and she knows it well too and she loves it, but it's after everything else done, copied and done and all that kind of stuff, so it's not going to mean the same thing as it means to me. So I kind of expressed to her what was going on at the time and what it meant. So to her, that stuff might just be basic stuff, but the spark that lit that flame was this movie.